back to another Met Gaming Collections and Pickups videos for this week. This week is not been a week distance from the last video, it's more likely 2 weeks. The simple fact is, the charity shops have been absolutely rubbish.
They've had soot in them.
Nothing but crap. But I haven't had as much time in the last 2 weeks to go out as much as previously, so that maybe helped. So that means most of these collections are all Facebook collections, bar one. So the first collection was for some Game Boy Advance games. The lady wanted £4. There's only one game in this whole batch that I wanted, so I thought I'd be cheeky and I offer her £2 for it. She said, give me £3 and you can have all 3 games. So I said, okay, no worries. £1 each. The other 2 games are absolute garbage, or in my opinion anyway. But for 50p, I'm not going to turn them away. The first game was Pro Tennis WTA Tour. Not a game that I'm interested in, to be honest. Had a quick go on it, make sure it worked. It worked. I'm probably not going to. That's just going to go in the Game Boy Advance box and stay there. But for 50p, you can't turn it down. The second game was Dogs. Bit of a funny story with this one actually. Not a game that I would ever play, to be honest. But my partner saw it, asked what it was, and I explained it. I think it was some sort of pet game, because you get ones called cats and all sorts like that.
And hamsters.
And hamsters and all that kind of girly jazz. And she sat there for a good hour and a half and just played around with that. So she's claimed that, so that would be going in her DS box. The game that I wanted, and the game that's worth the full £3 plus more, I believe, was Super Mario World Adventures 2. So if you work it out, that cost me £2. So I think that's a bargain for £2. So I had to have it. I mean, I didn't have it, so I picked it up. So that's them 3. The next one was a, get these out of the way, was the only charity shop collection this week was Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance on the PlayStation 2. Not worth, I don't believe it's worth a fortune. Probably not being a PlayStation 2 game, they're not tend to bring in more value, but I paid £1 for it. It's a game that interests me, and I picked it up because it's good to have in the collection. To be honest, I've got all the Tekkens and stuff like that. So,
and the covers.
And I don't often come across. I don't come across that every day in a charity shop. So it did come with its manual and its CD. The CD itself, the disc itself, is in good nick.
Immaculate.
Immaculate. So we got that one.
Yeah.
Where was we on the other? Where's the other game? We had one more game.
It's up there.
It's up there. Okay, we'll do this one first. Okay, the next collection was another Facebook collection. Basically, the story with this, there was a picture of Crash Bandicoot 1 and a load of other bits and pieces on there. I contacted her. I said, "Is Crash still available?" She said, "No, no, not technically, no, but the woman is messing me about. She's supposed to pick it up tomorrow. If she doesn't, I'll let you know. You're first in line." Then after that, I said, "Have you got any other games?" And then she happened to find some more PlayStation 1 games and some Wii games. The Wii games were absolutely garbage, so I said, "No, no, thank you. I'm not interested in those. I don't have a Wii." But the PlayStation 1 games, she pulled out that she found second wave round, and didn't. These weren't listed. These are just. So always ask the question: have you got anything else? Because generally, they have 1 or 2 games more than they find. They're not always keeping them in the same place for some reason or another. So the first game on these 4 games that I picked up from her was Tekken 1 Plan Edition. I believe I paid £2 for this game. £2. It works. We've tested it. It came with its manual and the disc. The disc itself is scratched to buggery. I must admit, it is scratched, but
it's workable.
It's definitely it works, and I'm thinking about either taking a lot of my collection that's slightly scratched, or because I'm a bit anal when it comes to things like that to get resurfaced. I'm not too sure if CX do it. I'm not too sure. Let us know. Or invest in a semi-decent resurfacer and just resurface the lot, and just as I find games, resurface them. So that was the first one out of the 4. The second game out of it was Nightmare Creatures. Not a game I ever had as a kid. We had a bit of play on it.
It probably gives you nightmares.
Hence the name. Not a game I ever had as a kid. our friends had it. I know that they were raving about it at the time. Plays very much like Resident Evil. I had a quick go on it prior to this video, and it was alright. And I probably will play a little bit more, to be honest. Get into it a bit more, look into it a bit more. So I'm glad with that to pick this one up. Paid £4 for this game. The disc is scratched, but like I say, I'm looking to resurface a load of my games. It came with a manual, which we just realised, for some reason, I don't know if they're the level cheats for this game, but for certainly another game that someone's written into the back of the manual. Take a screenshot of that. You never know. It might be.
Might work.
It might work, but cheats. It's not like back in this day. You can't just Google things and find a cheat. You had to buy a magazine and get a cheat book.
Yeah, or you could, like, they couldn't have done it, like, later in the day if they had it later in the day.
Yeah, well, I don't know if they gave you.
Years.
I don't know if it gives you codes every time you complete a level. Or not too, a bit like Theme Hospital, for example.
Yeah.
But you either had to buy a book with the cheats in it, or phone a hotline. You didn't have Google, so
Google came out.
the struggles of retro. The next game was £2.50. It is Grand Theft Auto Black Label. I have got this game.
We got it on in the background.
We've got it in the background. I have got this game, but only the Platinum Edition. So I was keen to pick this up. But didn't realise when I picked it up, as you probably can see there, you have to really look at it. It did not come with its front label. So was disappointed, but wasn't, because it was only £2.50. It did come with its manual. Put that up the right way. Came with all the bumper, little bits and pieces.
Yeah.
Quite a lot of stuff actually.
Yeah.
Another manual. I think I don't know what that is. Whether that comes, this is what came in the game. But there was 2 maps on this. And look, I'm a big fan of Grand Theft Auto, but I never really do the missions. I'm not of a run around, kill, tank kind of guy. But for some reason, it had 2 maps in it, or 3 maps total. So it had Liberty City map, then it had San Andreas map, and then it's obviously got a poster, then Vice City map. Was there 3 cities in this game if you went through the levels? Because if there was, when you got to a certain level, I'd be quite keen to actually play it through properly.
Yeah.
If there was, if I had more maps to play on. So
Tell us down in the description.
yeah, let us know. Just say, yeah, there was, if you completed so many, whatever mission you got moved or whatever it may be. I could be totally wrong, and someone just throwing the maps in there thinking they belong to that game. So that's why I'm asking the question, really. The last and final game of this, so just put it back in. Oh, sorry, so that is Grand Theft Auto. The last and final game was probably the jewel of the game, out of them 4, believe it or not. This game was a £5. It was Crash Bash on Platinum. These games go for about 20 quid
Yeah.
in shops, and I don't know what they got on eBay, to be honest. I haven't checked it, but the case itself is immaculate. I don't know if you can see it. It's great condition. It came with its manual and disc. Good condition manual, really good condition. The disc is a bit scratched, but again, playable, definitely playable. We had to go on it, didn't we? It's like a puzzle kind of game. It needs resurfacing, just because I'm a bit of a stickler for a nice looking disc. And I will be asking the question if CX do them in certain locations.
Yeah.
So I know they resurface their games, because obviously when you buy a PlayStation 1 game, you get the powder stuff around it. So that's it. Crash Bash, £5, can't go wrong. I think that's it this week. Hopefully there won't be too much of a gap between episodes next time round. I've already got some collections lined up for this next week, and I've got some credit in some game shops that I'm going to be looking to spend for the right game for the collection. So that's it this week. Thank you very much for listening. If you like what you see, please subscribe, drop a like, drop a comment, ask a question, and we'll see you later.
Peace out.